If you've been looking for a mechanical keyboard that looks like one Apple would make, you need to check out the Satechi SM1. This is a really compact mechanical keyboard that has a couple great features, but it's also no frills as well. It's just super simple and minimal, available in both white and black. Now, Satechi did send me this keyboard for free for purposes of making this video, but they have no input into this content. This is all going to be based on my experience using this keyboard in the real world. So when I first got this keyboard out of the box, I was impressed at just how minimal it is. It's just super simple and sleek, and the base of the keyboard is just the smallest size possible that can fit all the keys on it. It does have brown switches, which gives you a really nice clicking sound without being overly clicky, and you do have the bump on the keystroke as well. So first things first, here is a typing test on this keyboard. So what I did notice about this keyboard is it doesn't have the fullest sounding click to it, but it definitely gives you that loud, clicky mechanical keyboard sound to it. It's very compact too, with all the buttons just being right next to each other. And that's probably one of the small drawbacks to this is I just felt like the buttons were almost on top of each other. There's just enough space to get everything in it, but it definitely has a tight feel to it. There's no space in between the numbers and the function buttons. They're just as tight as any other keyboards are. So if you like your buttons to be spread out a little bit, then this keyboard is going to give you that really tight feel. But overall, all the buttons are very responsive. I found that it just has a smooth, fast typing experience on it. This keyboard does have a couple great features built into it, like you can pair it with two Bluetooth devices at once. There's also a USB dongle, and you can even use this in hardwired mode. There's a USB-C port on the top of it for either wiring it to a computer or also for recharging it. There's also the off-on switch on the front of it as well. What's kind of interesting about this is even if you have it off, if it's in the hardwired mode, it's still going to work. So you can't actually shut it off in wired mode, which may or may not be a big deal to you. If you want to change between the different Bluetooth settings or also the USB or the hardwired, you just press and hold the function button, and then you can press the Bluetooth pairing buttons, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's one of the things about this keyboard that I really love compared to some of the Logitech ones. Logitech uses F1, 2, and 3 on their smaller keyboards as their pairing buttons. This one, you actually have to press and hold function and then change between the 1, 2, or 3 buttons. So you still get all your function buttons on the top of it. This is great because the functions on the top really line up well with Mac. You have actual screen brightness on F1 and F2, which is something that I've been really wanting Logitech to do in their keyboards. So this just feels like using a Mac keyboard, but turned into a mechanical keyboard. And all the other buttons on the top make sense as well. And you also get the ability to change your backlighting effects using the light bulb button on the top of it. So you can do a ton of different backlighting effects on it. I typically just leave it in the standard on mode on the backlight. You can also adjust the backlight brightness with F5 and F6. Just know that whenever you're using the backlight on this, it is definitely going to reduce your battery life. Also, the SM1 is available in gray or white, so you can have your pick of light mode or dark mode setup. It's going to look great with any of the Satechi accessories or also with your Mac computer. But another nice thing is they actually gave you the ability to change between Mac layout and Windows layout. You just press the function button and either the O or the P button, press and hold, and then it's going to change your keyboard layout. They also send it stock with the Mac command keys on it, but you also get the Windows buttons in the box as well, so you can easily change it over to use it with a Windows computer if you want. I also had no issues with using this with my iPad. It performed great, and all the different function buttons on the top worked exactly as you would expect them to with iPad OS. Also, the USB dongle is on the bottom of the keyboard. I love it. It's just stuck right there because it's always going to be ready for you. Some of the other keyboards I've used in the past, they don't give you a slot for the dongle on them, but this one does. So you can tell Satechi really thought this keyboard through very well. Probably the biggest downside to this keyboard is there's no reprogramming what the buttons do without using a third-party app. So that's not going to be built into this or have an app that Satechi actually makes to use on your keyboard. So you do lose some functionality of being able to reprogram what buttons do compared to what the Logitech keyboards offer. The SM1 retails for $100, which is right in line with any of the other Bluetooth mechanical keyboards that are on the market right now. I love all the functionality they built into this. Two Bluetooth pairing modes, also USB and hardwired mode, gives you a ton of versatility in it. The typing experience is very comfortable, and you can adjust the angle. You can either start it flat, or you also have two different elevations that you can use with the feet on the back. So overall, I have no problem recommending this keyboard. I think the biggest drawback to it is the slightly hollow sound and just the fact that there's no native customization available on it. But overall, this keyboard looks great. It's just sleek and minimal in appearance, and it also functions very well, whether you're using it in Bluetooth, USB dongle mode, or also in hardwired mode. This is going to be a fantastic option for anyone who wants the Mac look, but in a mechanical keyboard. If you're interested in buying the SM1, I do have links to buy in the description below. If you have any other questions about this keyboard, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.